Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh Kimmel. With me, the ultimate babyface, Chris Koffler. What is going on, Mr. Babyface? Are you buried in the ditch too, out there in the desert? Are you now a man?
What are you talking about?
Jungle Man. He buried a body.
Oh, that's right. Jungle Man.
Did you bury yourself as well because you're so sad that you lost one of your heroes?
No.
That's how we're starting the show. Chris lost a hero, and I feel so bad for him.
Oh,
what a good week of wrestling. What a good week of wrestling. Started on Saturday night, and it ended last night, Wednesday night. That's how my wrestling week is now. It's Saturday, Wednesday. I don't even bother with the other show anymore. It's not muscle memory of changing the channel to 32 is on Mondays is over. I haven't done it in weeks.
Yeah, you're not missing out.
Same thing for actually I did watch a little bit of SmackDown. Watch a little bit because that's still good. Yeah. Still good. It's got LA Knight. I don't want to miss LA Knight's career because he's already old, aging, whatever. And this is I feel like the prime of his life or his career. So I want to make sure I at least see him because I do like him. Anyway, yeah. AEW, Chris. AEW had a great 3 out of falls match, a tag team match for FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. We had a great Blood and Guts match. We had an FTW match, which I didn't know that was actually recognized by AEW. And holy hell, Owen Hart championships. Where do we begin? Chris?
We can go back to Saturday night. I'm glad I got you to actually watch.
Yes. So Saturday night, I think I was home, and Chris goes, Collision or whatever you text. You text me something to remind me, and it was 8:05. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check that out. I had no idea that match was going on first. I should have guessed. I assumed that'd be the main event, but we know why it started out the show. They always do that if it's a long match. FTR. Bullet Club Gold. They went nuts. And I'm not an FTR fan. I think they suck. Let me rephrase that. I think they're boring. I think they're boring, and I don't think that to be a good professional wrestler, in my eyes, tag team as well, you need to have promo skills. They don't have it. They're just kind of boring. They have no stories. They're just, we'll fight you, we'll beat you up, and they put on great matches. But they're not my favorite tag team. But man, what a match. That's all I got to say. What a match.
Yeah, that was, I think, what they showcased, what they could do the week prior whenever they had the what do they call that match? The championship contenders match, which I had watched, and I knew that one was really good. Now, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the contenders matches and the concept, but after watching that and then realizing they were going to have another match, 2 out of 3 falls, that's where I was like, I got to get Josh to watch this because I think you'll appreciate it, even as a non-FTR fan, because it was a great match.
Oh, I appreciated it. It was great to see Jay White out there do his thing and Juice Robinson. Not a big fan of Juice. I wasn't going into this match there's something about him. There's something about him that I just cannot I just can't get. I like him
too
now.
Goofy?
Probably too goofy. His facials, the way he sells like he's a cartoon character. Yeah. You notice that from a lot of Japan guys coming over, and that's I'm not trying to say the Japanese guys. I'm trying to say the guys coming over from New Japan or over in there, they oversell, they're over cartoonish. You look at Kenny Omega still. I mean, look at Kenny Omega in that match last night in Blood and Guts. There was moments where when he announced Coda, we'll just go to that. It was like a damn B-movie script. He just overacts everything. He oversells everything, but it's just the way it is. I'm not trying to hate on it. That's why I don't like Juice, but Jay White's the perfect athlete, or a person in the Bullet Club. I love Jay White. I think he's championship material.
Oh, absolutely. Just a matter of time. Maybe he can be the one to take the international title away from your boy.
He's bigger. He's bigger than that title. He's bigger than that. He's way bigger than that title. That title is nothing. He's bigger than that.
I could see him going for the other one, but at least for now, because I don't see him in the main title picture right this minute.
No, he can't be. There's only room for Adam Cole and MJF in that reign. Yeah. We'll get to that later. But as far as Jay White and Juice, we just saw them lose. Juice tapped out with 5, maybe even 2 minutes left in the timer. I texted you during this match. I said, "Wow, it's going to be a draw." And you're like, "Is there a time limit?" And I'm like, well, "There has to be, right?" I didn't say that to you. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure there is." Once they said 5 minutes left remaining in this match, I'm like, "God damn it, it's going to be a draw." And then we're going to have a rematch at London or wherever we go. If they did something that I appreciate, they had a finish. So we don't always expect a draw. Because what did I expect? Like 30, 40 minutes in, I'm like, draw, easy. This is a draw. They did something that no other company really does, and they kind of threw me off. Were you expecting a draw?
Yeah, especially when I saw your text there about it, and then I was watching the way the match was going. And typically, when you those time announcements, because normally on a match that's not going to run over, you don't hear them. They don't really like showcase that. But that one, they were making it a big deal. They were letting you know that the time was running out. So they were setting it up to make it feel like it was going to be another draw. Oh yeah, I was thinking it was going that direction. And then so I was surprised to see him tap out right at the end there. I like that. I appreciate it too because it keeps you guessing.
It does keep you guessing. So the next time they do a long match and it starts a show and it's a title match, at the 45-minute mark, I'm not going to text Chris, "Hope it's another draw." I'm going to actually pay attention and go, "Wow, this could end or it could be a draw." And that's something that the other company doesn't do or other companies don't do. This is kind of outside the box thinking. This is great. I enjoyed this match. It might be match of the year. I haven't seen a match better. I'm trying to think. When was Bryan Danielson in MJF's match? We're in July, and I
Yeah.
feel like that match
Was
happened
that earlier
early
this year?
this. I
Or was
feel
that
like it
last year?
was. I don't have I can look it up on my computer, I guess. I mean, I do have a computer in front of me, so I could look that up. But I don't but I don't know when that was. But when it comes to enjoyability and rewatchability, I think I'm watching the tag team match first
Yeah.
because
I
you
could
have more
definitely see
going
that.
on. You have more going on,
Yeah.
as in one-on-one, it was great, but you did have some dead spots. Ryan Danielson, MJF, Iron
Yeah. This
Man.
one felt like it was a lot of
March 5th.
action from bell to bell. Okay.
It
Yeah.
was it was March. So either way you cut it, AEW has the number one and number two match of the year so far. Straight up. Like there's no denying it. There's no other matches that can hold up to their standard. And they're both long. One was an Iron Man match, hour. One was a 2 out of 3 pinfalls, hour. They're not giving you
Yeah.
2 to 3 minute matches like some other people. But I'm serious. Like, think about this. And I brought this up on the pre-show, but I'll say it out here aloud. You had an hour and 58 minutes of wrestling between Blood and Guts and the FTR Bullet Club match. WWE could have fit 59 matches, 59 2-minute matches into that time. For it's a fact. I did the math. So I mean, it's very easy to divide it by two. But the point is this, Chris: do we ever see a Raw with 59 matches?
No, I don't think so.
It'd be
Not quite
awesome.
that many. Because
That'd be
they like to
awesome.
do a lot of promos and talking. So you max out at like 4 or 5 matches over their 3 hours. That's all they can fit in. And you walk out watching 20 minutes of wrestling.
So what happens with Juice and your boy Jay White? Do they go in a singles route because they paired them together? I don't see them just Jay White having a singles career and Juice doing what he's doing. I think that they're going to stay a tag team.
Yeah, they'll just be
But
a part of the tag team division. Maybe even are they going to finish teaming up with the Ass Boys and
they're
make
in
a
the
whole
Bullet Club.
stable?
They're in the Bullet Club. I just don't know where they've been. I don't know what's
Yeah, because
happening.
I mean, it doesn't really feel like they're together because I don't really see them together. They were kind of like suggesting it, but it doesn't feel like they're a group yet.
They could have scrapped it. We don't know. Nobody really knows. Maybe they wanted to get this match out of the way first because I don't think this is over. I think they have a third match. I think that third match happens in London. I do think that they put on another. I don't know what kind of match they would put on, but I don't think it's over. We saw if it was over, they would have shook hands and hugged or something like them and the Briscoes did. But we saw Jay White spit on the ground as he walked away as they wanted to shake hands, FTR. So the feud's not over. That's a show of disrespect, and Dax is not going to take it, and neither is Cash, and there will be a set. I'm telling you, Chris, a third match is coming. They have to. People will, you know why?
Okay,
You know why? You know why
I'm
Tony
here
put this
for it.
match on free? Tony put this match on free TV for us to watch, so it makes us want to buy the third match. I mean, what it looks like to me is this All Out or All In is not going to be on HBO Max, and we're going to have to pay for it. We're going to have to pay for 2 pay-per-views in 2 weeks. So Tony wants people to buy this stuff. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be streaming, Chris. I promise you that. It's not.
Ugh.
I know.
I wish it was on HBO.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of people are going to buy the London show. Nobody's going to buy the Chicago show. Nobody. Who's going to buy that show after you watch something in Wembley Stadium? Then you go back to Pepsi Phil's Arena. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch it if there's good matches.
They're going to have to put some really good matches, but then that's going to be hard because how do you pull away from your London show? Because that London show, they got to put everything into that.
Yeah.
You can't really save matches for the Chicago show.
You can't. It's almost impossible. It's almost like almost like Tony Khan's that impulsive buyer syndrome, or you buy this, buy that, you book this, book that, book that. Oh yeah, we have a show in Chicago, and then Wimbledon's like, well, we can sneak you in a week before, book it, dude. You're not thinking about the consequences, or you couldn't. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. Moving on next to since we're gonna jump right into, we're gonna stay at Collision, sure. Ricky Starks, Willow Nightingale, they are the Owen Hart champions, tournament champions. I predicted one winner, and I was wrong on the other one, which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah.
Did you see Willow winning? She had to have won. I don't see any other option here.
Well, as you pointed out, and I was wondering if they were going to do this again in year 2 or not. But as you pointed out, King of the Ring is a heel tournament, and this is very much turning out to be a face tournament. It's where your faces, I guess, are going to win this every year, like the feel-good story. So, I don't know. I wasn't really 100% certain which way they were going to go with that, because it felt like they've been pushing. Actually, I guess I thought both the heels were going to win because they've been pushing Ruby a lot. She's been on our screen every week. And then on the other side, Pepsi Phil, as you like to call him, I didn't see him taking a loss in any form or fashion, because he just got back, and he's, always has to be in the winners column, it seems like. So I didn't foresee that. I'm happy with the outcomes for sure. I'm glad that the 2 people that won did, but I didn't see that coming. No.
So I saw Willow winning because, like I said, I think it's a babyface tournament. I said, why would they want a heel to represent Owen Hart? Like, there's a reason why we do this. There's a reason why Britt Baker and Adam Cole won their tournament last year, and there's a reason why Willow won it, because she is a fan favorite. She dropped that New Japan Strong Championship, and then they rewarded her with this tournament. And then Ricky Starks, though, I told you in the text, either Ricky Starks is going to win by cheating, which is going to take away his win, like diminish it, or Phil's going to win, and we're just going to bury talent. So what do we do? And you're like, make your decision. Who are you going to pick? Well, Ricky Starks is always that guy who gets there. He's there. He's right there. He's over. People want him to win. But for some reason, Tony books him in impossible situations. Impossible. He was high as hell and going into MJF. Boom. Right when he was there. Right when he was at his highest peak, he takes an L at MJF. Great match. Great for his career. But it took him right back down to the mid-card. Right back down. Now he's been fighting. Really just staying under the radar. He wins this tournament. Is he just going to get pushed back down to the mid-card, or are we going to see a rocket ship to the moon? Because let's be honest here. 2 indications show me that Ricky Starks is turning heel. 2. He won by cheating, right? He rolled him up and held the ropes. And 2, Liger came out. That dude, everyone's pissed off that he disrespected him. He grabbed the trophy or whatever right from him and just discarded him and went to the back and cheered. That's a heel move. He just disrespected a legend, technically. I think that this tournament could be won by heels, but heel turned. Like, I believe he just turned heel and we just didn't notice it. Nobody noticed it. Did anyone see which way he walked?
I think he went back to the right.
I don't know.
Which would still be the face tunnel, right? Because it's heels and face.
Yeah. I think
he went back to the right side. I mean, I would be good for that. If it would make them use him more, then go for it. I think he could be a good heel. But yeah, I don't want to see him get lost in the shuffle again, because he just seems like he has potential. The crowd seems to be behind him. So I would like for them to figure something out, even if it's not winning a championship right now. Do something.
See,
to make him feel important and to stay feeling important.
He's the one who should be going against Orange Cassidy, take that international title, actually make that title mean something. He's the one who should do it, I believe. The TNT title's busy; it's already booked up. Luchasaurus is gonna, in Christian, they're gonna hold that title for a little bit and run a story with it and run multiple stories. I really think if Ricky Starks can get his hands on Orange Cassidy, one-on-one match, like they build some kind of chemistry there, but I don't see it happening because Orange Cassidy, he has a longer winning streak than Roman Reigns at this point. He does. He literally does. Roman was pinned about 2 weeks ago. Orange Cassidy still unpinned. Orange Cassidy, this thing reigns. I'm bringing that sign to the show in a couple of weeks. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't want Starks to win this tournament and just whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, they need to do something. But we see that a lot. I mean, a lot of companies are guilty of doing that. You run some sort of a tournament for something, and then the winner, they're celebrated for a week or two, and then it's like nothing ever happened. We all want, back in the day, the King of the Ring tournament meant you were that guy that was going to take the next step. And we all want that back. And I just don't know why it's so hard. Put someone in there, help them build themselves, elevate themselves from the mid card to like that upper card, even if it's the lower upper card, whatever. But use that as a stepping stone. But then you gotta do something with it, because it's going to be all for nothing if he goes on to do nothing. If in the next month that's like the only thing he's accomplished in the next 2 months, then what was it for?
I feel like Ricky Starks got Jericho'd, and I hate to say that because, as you all know, I'm a Jericho mark, but he's killing more careers than he's making lately these days. Everyone that goes into a feud with Jericho comes out looking worse. I mean, come on, what happened? Ricky Starks with the MJF. As soon as he left MJF, he's wrestling against Jericho for a couple months. Then that's when it killed him. Happened with Daniel Garcia. Killed. Momentum dead. It happened with Sammy Guevara. Remember when he broke out and then blah, blah, he died for like at least 3 months. Jericho's been killing more careers on Dynamite, seriously, than he's ever done to help anyone in the past 3 years. Promise you that. Nothing. What happened to Andretti, whatever the fuck his name is?
Actually, Andretti?
Nowhere. On ROH.
Yeah, I mean, he got him on screen, and then that was it. It was like a big deal for like 2 weeks, and then that's the end of it.
Jericho hasn't made anyone feel important in a long time, and I just I want to see him go away. Go to Don Callis' family. That's fine. That might work for him. That might be the thing that Jericho needs to do. Leave JS and go. We're just going over to JS now. I don't want to talk about JS. Damn it, pisses me off. How bad that is.
Yeah, it's run its course. It's done.
Yes. So now we're moving on to Dynamite. We have 3 topics over there. We'll start with the first thing that we saw on TV. We saw they played Jungle Boy's music. Whoa. Did they not play his music?
Yeah.
So some people were doing this, right? Some people.
Yep.
And then it cut to a weird Darby Allin sketch. But Jack Perry was in it. So I feel like he was playing a role. He's a movie star now. So he was Darby Allin as Jack Perry. We're going to the desert. Like, the fuck, what? Did he just steal Darby Allin's gimmick?
I don't know why they went to the desert, but, that was their way to signal that character is dead. He's done.
He's done this before.
He's not coming back.
Darby Allin already buried himself in the desert. Remember? And Sting dug him up? Yes. That whole thing happened already, but with Darby Allin.
Maybe they just edited it. Maybe it was the same video and they just edited it.
That's what I'm saying. Jack Perry played Darby Allin in Darby Allin buries himself and Sting saves him. And you don't remember? And he was in a body bag and Sting was driving him around.
Very vaguely. I kind of remember it, but not to that level of detail.
It was the same thing.
I have to imagine, though, you were super pumped for this. You were super excited. This is another one for the heel team, right? So now you guys gained one over on your side over there on the heels. And it was the guy.
I don't want him.
And it was the guy that you've been saying for the longest time. You said he's got to stop being Jungle Boy one day. You can't have champion Jungle Boy.
Yes.
You know? And now he's changed.
Yes,
that's it. Jungle Boy is no more. He is now Jack Perry.
This is the way to move into the correct right appropriate way with him. Turn him into a movie star, as in he thinks he's hot shit. He's Hollywood. Call him Hollywood Jack Perry. I think
Yeah.
that's great. I don't know what his name is. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was muted. Didn't hear what the fuck he had to say. I don't even know what his music is. I don't know yet. It was
You don't
muted.
know what his music is?
Oh, what's his music? Oh, no, I do. I do. It's a damn sympathy. Yeah, symphony.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I don't
Your
know how to feel.
thoughts?
I don't know. I was gonna say that's. You have no
Oh,
thoughts.
no, sorry, I lost you for a second. My camera froze. I absolutely hated it. It was the worst. I'm like, I was expecting it to like, I'm like, okay, this is the music. All right, this is weird that they're going with this, but like I was waiting for the beat to drop and then it like turned to some dark version of it. No, it never did. I don't
So
like it. It's like, and it's turned down. Like wrestling music is supposed to hit. It's like the music comes on, it's supposed to be loud, in your face for a lot of it,
you're
and this one
supposed.
was just barely, you could barely hear it. Like it was at like volume 3 in the background. I hated it.
So,
I love the new gimmick. I like the look, all that. Hate the music. Please
so
go
like
away with the music.
so AEW has a history of terrible music. They had it with Marina Shafir, right? Remember her music? God awful. Now they have it with Jack Perry. They have it with Don Callis, and Takeshka came out with it at Blood and Guts. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
They need to change it. That's not
Yes.
even a song. It's just it's not. It's nothing.
It's just noise.
It's noise.
No, I
It
hope that they correct it. If you remember, um, what's his name? I cannot think of his AEW name right now. John
don't say
Moxley. There we go. John Moxley. I was thinking Dean Ambrose. I'm like, I know it's not him. John Moxley. Remember whenever he first changed the Wild thing and they kept running him through different versions of it? And we're like, good song, but wrong version, wrong version. They got it right. So fingers crossed they can figure out something and make this right because it's completely wrong. It doesn't fit his character, or I don't understand it unless there's some super deep level meaning, but it doesn't hit. It doesn't get me excited when he's coming out. Think about guys whenever we were growing up, your Stone Cold, your Rock, like it had music that where you're like you were pumped that they were coming out, and this doesn't do that for me.
what. This is a little off topic. Just one answer. What music does get you excited when a wrestler comes out? I know there's like at least 4 or 5 that you're gonna name, but what's the most like when you hear that first bar, that first sound, that first note? Who is it? Who do you like? Is it Hangman? I bet you
I
it's
think
Hangman.
he's got good music that gets you excited. That's good. I like the Young Bucks or the Elite, their music. Granted, now that's an actual real song, so that's kind of different. Moxley's is good, like I said.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's good. It's good for him.
Mm-mm.
Now, just
Cesaro's bad, by the way. I just want to say that Cesaro's is bad. Claudio
just
is bad.
music by itself. I love Roderick Strong's music. I don't know that it's at the level of getting me excited for him to come out yet, but his music, I think that's really good music too. But again, it's a real song, so that's kind of a little different.
I don't even know his song. He's featured enough to have a song now. What are you gonna tell me
Yes.
next? He has a shirt?
You didn't know that he has a song? He has an intro song.
No,
It's a real song. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Kill Switch Engage.
maybe. I don't
No.
know. I don't know. Look, the correct answer, you messed up, Chris. The correct answer is simply, it's all, because I'm trying to transition to Adam Cole. It's all about the boom, da da da. Adam Cole. That's the song that
Great
gets
music.
everyone going. That's
Yes.
the number one. Gets you. No song gets a pop like that. None. Now maybe I can argue on the other side. Seth's right now. Seth has probably had has the
Yes.
most over music right now. But when you hear Adam Cole, in that, it's just because someone's screaming at the very. It's like The Rock. It's a cheat. If you smell, of course, that fucking loud noise is gonna get people. First off, they're gonna go, "What's that?"
Yep.
Like if you hear like just
Or Stone Cold with the glass shattering.
if you
That noise right at the beginning.
that's what you need. That's what you
Yes.
need to get that pop. And Cody has it. Every great pop has it. You look at someone randomly like trying to think of someone that has shitty music besides what we already made fun of Jungle Boy. I don't even know who has shitty music these days because I don't really pay attention. I hate Cesaro's. Claudio's music is awful. It's trash. Have you heard it?
No.
It's awful.
It's forgettable because I don't even know what it is.
Dun 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 dun, dun. Like it's awful. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Dun 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 dun. It's like that doesn't fit him. He's a badass.
Yep. So
Whatever.
when you were watching, were you watching that match, that entrance, MJF and Cole with the sound up, or was it muted?
You know it's all about the mute. Dun, but I do want to go back and watch the entrance only because I was recording at the time and I was watching it. And I even apologized to my audience over there on the football show. I'm like, I'm watching greatness. Give me a second. I didn't turn it up though.
So you did not hear.
I didn't hear the mashup. I know there's a mashup. I don't want anyone to ruin it for me. I'm going to watch it literally right after this. Like after
Okay, you should have watched it right before while we were getting ready. I didn't know. I would have made you watch it in the pre-show if I would have known that you hadn't watched. It's really good. It's like a perfect mashup.
I'm going to watch it right after. I promise everyone. It's the number one thing I do. I tried to get to it before. I tried to. Explain it to me. Is it the... no, don't spoil it. Don't.
It's their two entrance songs mashed up. That's all I'm going to leave it at.
Is it better
they did
than
very well?
Is it better than Kane and X-Pac? Because that was a good one.
I'd put it on level with that, if not better though, because I like their music better than I liked X-Pac and Kane's music.
I like Kane and Xbox music.
I like theirs, but I like Adam Cole and MJF's better individually and combined.
All right. So we had the part 3 of the Buddy Buddy series. I, again, do not hate me, guys. So it was on mute. Chris, you're going to have to explain this. Don't shake your head. Don't shake your head, buddy.
I can't believe it's on mute every Wednesday. You're killing me.
You don't even buy pay-per-views, Chris. You don't.
Because I can't. I buy them. I just can't watch them.
Yes. So what happened in this? I saw that they were out on the town. Explain what happened in this time with the saga of MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Well, hold on. So they were... Well, I know in the back too, they also had their backstage segment where they got each other. MJF had the matching trunks that he was super excited about. Yep. And then Adam Cole came with the matching jacket, which I actually really like those jackets. I don't know if you were paying attention to those, but those were awesome. And that's when he had announced that he's like, oh, I got something else for you later. And, MJF was all giddy and all excited about it. And, oh, what do you got for me? Oh, I'll tell you later. By the time the match came, I had actually forgot about that. So whenever MJF came out and his music hit first, I wasn't thinking about it. And then they paused as though they were going to do Adam Cole's song. And then he's like, oh, you're playing my song again. That's not right. And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh man, are we going to get some sort of special entrance song right here? And sure enough, that's what ended up happening. And then out in the ring, let's talk about out in the ring. You saw it. Obviously you didn't hear it.
I unmuted it halfway through the match.
Did you?
I heard the pop for the double clothesline. It was great.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm talking about even before that though.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me everything.
So they decided to have the dance off.
Yes, which I was watching.
Yeah,
but I did not hear them. Were they playing music?
I think so. Yeah, I think they had some music going, and Daniel Garcia doing his little awkward dance thing, and then that's when MJF wanted to counter that, like, "Oh, I can do it better." And then that's when I think when he suggested the dance off, did not realize. I feel like Sammy has about as much rhythm as I do because it was not pretty out there. And then, of course, Adam Cole, even though he's been his buddy the whole time, he's kind of watching from the corner like, I don't know about this. I don't think this is a little too much for me. And then, of course, he eventually got him into it. And I see a lot of the reactions online immediately afterwards, from the typical WWE fans. Oh, if this happened in WWE, you guys would be complaining about it, and you this and that, and oh, I thought this is supposed to be wrestling. This is the way I see it. With my wrestling, I want it to be mostly good stories. I want there to be a lot of good wrestling matches. And every once in a while, I'd like a little bit of comedy sprinkled in to my wrestling show. So, like, I'm okay with it if it's on occasion where they're doing something goofy like this, but when it's week in and week out, every holiday, oh, food fight every holiday, like, that's stupid. Or, oh, we're gonna pour, I don't know, whatever we're gonna pour on them, slime on them every week or something. Like, okay, no, that's funny if you're like 10 years old watching Nickelodeon or something every week. But if they were doing this week in and now, if they do it again next week and again the week after and again, then I'm gonna be all right. That's kind of goofy. Like, let's progress the story. But to do it once for a couple of minutes, I enjoyed it.
What's up, Alex? I also have something. I'll see you soon, Alex. I got some things to say to Alfred. There's also something I want to say about this dance off with MJF and Adam Cole. There is story progression in this dance off, and I know some of you WWE people cannot understand storytelling or how that works, but there is storytelling within this dance off, and I'll get to that in a second. Number one thing about the dance off, you're right. It doesn't happen weekly. They had fucking Shanky over there in the other company dancing every goddamn week. And Jinder Mahal was like, what's going on? And he would just dance and there was no story to it. It was just dancing. Shanky. Then you had the whole segment a while ago with Great Khali kissing everyone every week. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Comedy every week. That's the difference. You don't get this in AEW every single week. And here's the story aspect of it. What are we doing here with Adam Cole and MJF? You have one guy, MJF, doing dives now, more of a sports entertainment now, more appeasing to the fan base because Adam Cole's rubbing off on him. And then you have the other side. Adam Cole's doing a little bit of heel stuff. Adam Cole's doing kind of entertaining the idea of being in the dance off, but also looking at him like, what the fuck's going on? He's doing eye rakes. They're blending together. They're growing together. And MJF, him loosening up because he's hanging out with Adam Cole, is a part of the story. It's going to hurt more. It's going to hurt us more when MJF eventually does do the turn. It's going to hurt us more because now we see the lovable side of MJF. We saw it with Jericho, but not to this like level, I guess I'd say, because he did the dance with Jericho. He did the whole story. He did the whole dinner thing. That was great. I love that too. But this was more in the ring and showing that he can be. Remember, he did the dive and he's like, oh, like that was great when he did the dive. Like he did stuff that he doesn't normally do as a baby face because he can do it and he's learning it from Adam Cole. I just want to say this. The reason why we like MJF and Adam Cole so much right now and they're the best thing in wrestling today is because we know it's going to end. So we're trying to cherish it as much as we can because we know Roderick Strong was going to come out and he's going to beat the living hell out of Adam Cole. And MJF is just going to be laughing and laughing. And it's going to suck because MJF and Adam Cole are the best tag team of all time, period.
Of all time.
There's no one better. And I'm sorry, the bloodline stuff is great. It is great. But I'm having more fun watching this than I ever did have watching that. And that's just a fact. Only because it is MJF and Adam Cole, and I love them so much. Yeah. I really didn't care about the Usos. I really didn't care. Sami Zayn was just an afterthought in my life. They were great, but I personally love these guys. And Jesus Christ, they're fucking killing it every week. Every week.
No.
If you're not watching, I just don't understand how you don't find that entertaining. How could you complain about something so short? Something so small. They're dancing in the ring. Okay, yes, silly. But that's wrestling.
Yeah. Give me a little bit of it.
Just a little bit. Just a little taste. Not the whole damn show. After this match, we didn't go to a backstage interview with fucking moron over here acting like a robot and the other moron like, oh, that's what fucking the other show gives you. This show is like, it went back to serious.
Yeah. So Let me ask you, when the inevitable split does happen, what do you think would hurt worse if MJF turns on Adam Cole or Adam Cole turns on MJF?
I mean, it's gonna hurt worse either way, but I don't see a world where you make your world heavyweight champion look like a fucking idiot and have him get turned on. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. The point is,
No,
you got to, but it's gonna hurt either way. But it's gonna hurt when MJF does turn because I don't want it to end. I don't. I'd rather them just be tag team champions or forever and ever.
forever.
Beat
Yeah,
FTR. I hope they beat FTR. To be honest with you, I really do. But they're not going to because Gin and Juice, as Jim Cornette calls them, Jay White and Juice will get involved. I think so, and Roderick Strong might get involved as well.
yeah, yeah. Like you said, I don't know that MJF will get turned on, but I feel like that one would hurt more because he's the guy that looks like he's trying so hard to make this work, like that he just wants a friend. And so if he were to get turned on, I feel like that would make it hurt worse. Like we're expecting MJF to do it. He's the heel. So
But
the
what
guy
is
the heel trying to be a little baby face-ish, trying to be the person that's turning things around and being a good person. And then if he gets turned on, I feel like we'd all feel upset. Like imagine next week if one or the other were to turn, I feel like it would be a lot more harsh if Adam Cole turned on MJF.
Hear me out. Hear me out, guys. This came through my mind. This has to happen. This is how it has to end. MJF has to be like giddy, gonna go to Adam Cole's locker room with some gifts or whatever, and he's gonna overhear Adam Cole talking to Roderick Strong, like, "No, I'm not doing this. No, we're not really good friends," and like make Roderick Strong feel good. And MJF's gonna overhear everything Adam Cole's saying, like, "Oh, I'm just wearing this to make him happy." Blah blah blah. He's gonna have to get either jealous or heartbroken, and he's gonna have to turn on Cole. So it makes sense. Does anyone understand that? That's the way it has to end for it to be perfect to make sense because they've already admitted to each other they were going to turn on each other. That already happened. They're becoming best friends. So where is the problem? The problem has to be MJF hearing Adam Cole convincing Roderick Strong, like, no, we're still friends, Roddy. Me and him are just business. We're just co-workers or something like that. Something like that has to be said. And then to make MJF super pissed.
That would be perfect right there because it would give you that real heartbroken moment because it'd be a way that Adam Cole almost kind of turns on him, but not officially. That then fuels the fire to get him to turn against Adam Cole. So that way your champion doesn't look weak. I think that checks all the boxes right there.
Tony, QT, whoever books that shit over there, hit me up on Twitter, Josh Kimmel OUS. You can use that. I know you're watching, Tony. Rebel, you blocked me, but you're not. You know, why is Saraya? I tweeted this out. Saraya, she is literally more useless or less useful than Rebel, right? Rebel has more value in that company than Saraya, right? Am I crazy? Because she's done nothing, jack shit, useless. Like I said,
but am I wondering, is she hurt again or hesitant?
She sucks. She should have never been signed. It was a terrible signing. Washed. Told you guys. Listen to me. All right, Blood and Guts. The main event last night. Since the new rules got dropped in AEW, no more chair shots to the head, no more intentional bleeding unless it's approved, no more pile drivers. There's a lot of rules in the company that I don't think you even know about yet. I went through the whole list yesterday, actually. There's a lot going on in AEW. Seems like it was a much better match than all of the other Blood and Guts put together. I think this was the best Blood and Guts match I've ever seen. Not a lot of blood, which I like. I prefer no blood in my matches. Jon Moxley,
no blood in your Blood and Guts?
I don't like blood, dude. I just don't want to see it. It makes me queasy. It's not what I like. Even when I know that big board of nails was like rigged to not hurt as much, still hurts, but not as much. It still gave me, like, there was a point where Kenny Omega got thrown into it.
Still gonna hurt.
And then, what did you see Kenny Omega get thrown into it? And then after he got thrown into it, it fell on his shoulder and scratched him on the way down. That hurt him way more than a body slam.
Oh, because on the body slam, your weight's distributing evenly, whereas that one fell on him, and then it also drug across him. So, yeah, that one had to have hurt worse.
Yes, the bed of nails was something I didn't want to see. It's my first time seeing something like that. Just imagine if you guys didn't watch Blood and Guts in the chat, these just a giant board, giant with just nails. And Kenny Omega went through it. Moxley went through it. I mean, not through it, but I was literally worried. I'm like, what if one of these fucking nails goes through their back? Obviously, it wasn't going to happen, but still, it gives you that thought in your mind.
I think. So, do you want me to spoil it a little bit for you?
Spoil what? The nails? How
The
it
bed
works?
of nails.
I know how it works, Chris. It's like Mario. When the boxes are too close together, you can just run right by them. Same thing with the nails. It's not going to hurt you because they're all too close together.
But it also, I think it was all dulled down screwdrivers.
Yeah, they were dull. Yeah, they were dull. Whenever you actually put a hard cam on it, you can see they were dull at the top. But still,
I mean, it's still gonna hurt. Like it would hurt like hell to get dropped on that thing. I wasn't worried that it was gonna pierce anybody though.
Let's go straight to the end of the match. We'll go to everything, but the end of the match in particular, they had Wheeler Yuta choked out. They put a chain around his neck and looped it around and yanking on the chain. That was banned in AEW. No more chokes, no more hangings, because they've done hangings at least 3 times now. So that had to get approved. I was curious. Actually surprised to see that. Who gave up? Was it Moxley?
Moxley.
Because that was so odd to me.
I don't think they had a good camera angle when it happened because I was confused. But the story was he saw, because he was handcuffed.
Yep, he was handcuffed.
To where he basically had a front row seat. He couldn't do anything to go help, and he was forced to watch this. So then that's when he gave up because he's like, I don't want to see this happen to Yuta here. That's his teammate. And, Claudio, he's, dead over on the side. And he's just having to sit there. He was fine, but he's handcuffed. And he's like, I can't watch this. This is my guy right here. And you guys are choking him out now. You're 2-on-1 choking him out. We give up. It's not worth it anymore. Let's just give up.
So before that, if you didn't watch the Blood and Guts match, it was Pac, Takeshita, who are not part of the BCC, and then the BCC, which is Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta. Bryan Danielson is injured. He posted his x-rays of his forearm where he had the metal plate and screws put in there. That was pretty intense. The other side, we had the Golden Elite, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and the debut of Kota, who was, I will get to Kota in a second. But we had Pac quit. What is the number one rule of war games? Blood and Guts. How do you win Blood and Guts? Chris, tell me, how do you win Blood and Guts?
By submission or someone surrendering. So they have to say that, like, we're done.
Quit. Essential. Okay. What happened
in surrender? You have to say, I surrender in the match, though. Leaving the match is not a surrender. It's not a surrender.
He quit. Someone from the BCC side said, I've had enough. I quit. They go, where are you going? I'm leaving. He quit the match. He cut the damn chain. He left the match and quit. The match literally should have ended right there because someone's teammate quit. Yes, Chris. Yes.
No, he was going to fight back. He was just going to fight backstage, but no one followed him. That's all.
That is a huge logic gap, but I'm okay with it because we saw the Dominoes lie. We saw where Don Callis's allegiance lies. He pulled Takeshita right away and said, all right, he quits and we're quitting too. So it left the Elite, the Golden Elite 5-on-3. That's how they got the win. Kota's debut was lackluster. I will just say that. It was very bad. You can tell he can't really work the American style. He didn't look like that the matches I watched him. So I don't know what happened. I haven't seen him wrestle in a couple of years though. What happened, man? He's fucking shredded. He's jacked. He looks like a world champion, but everything he did looked terrible. It looked bad. Am I crazy?
Is that no? You're not, because I didn't know what to expect. I tried to keep my expectations medium, not as high as they were hyping up, because I'm like, I've never seen this guy, so I don't even know what they're hyping up. Is he like the next Kenny Omega out there? Because if he is, that's going to be awesome. If there's 2 Kenny Omegas in the ring. So I didn't really know what to expect, but I didn't see anything. Like, I wasn't blown away. It wasn't terrible, but I wasn't blown away. Now you got to think too, is there a lot of people there that he's never worked with? And so he just doesn't know the style, doesn't know how they work.
Yes.
I mean, real question. is he able to communicate with them to be able to communicate moves? I always imagine that's hard when you got two people that speak different. I don't know. Does he speak English?
Everyone speaks a little broken English, because they did so much time, and they speak broken. At least Kenny does speaks broken.
Kenny does. That's what I say.
Yeah.
If he was with Kenny, I think he'd be fine. If it was a one-on-one with Kenny, but some of these other guys, that what if they've never been over to New Japan and so they don't know anything and they don't, you know what I mean? Like that's hard because you have to be able to communicate a lot throughout the match in any wrestling match. So if you can't do that and it's someone you're not familiar with their style, I imagine that makes it hard to put on a good show. In a match like that, there's so much going on that you got to be paying attention to. So yeah, it was a bit lackluster for me. Like I wasn't blown away.
I had the same exact excuses for Coda the entire time. I'm like, well, it's a blood and guts match. This is his debut in AEW. His first time on real American, like national TV with probably thinking 700,000 people watching. And then plus the people in the arena. And then you're right. There's so much going on. There's 10 people in the ring. You have to communicate with 9 other people. Some of them you've never seen in your life or worked with. Now, sure, you probably went over the match before, but it's not as calculated as the other company. Like the other company has a script. You've seen it multiple times in the E. If they mess up a move, guess what happens? Do it again. And they do it again because they can't get off script. Whereas in AEW, you have more freedom. You can do more things. You have more say of what happens
doing it
in that
on
ring.
The fly.
And you can call spots on the fly. You're allowed to do that over there. So I assume Moxley thinks he's some badass who could wrestle, which I'm so far off the Moxley train right now. This guy is slowly becoming one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time. Slowly becoming the worst wrestler I've ever seen. How many times we see him last night just talking to the Young Bucks or the Elite, just say, all right, let's do this. He fucking sucks. Moxley sucks. It's done. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done with him. That's it.
He's all about theatrics. Did you see him last night? The freaking blood. First off, he was bleeding a little bit. And then you saw he was only bleeding a little bit. So they panned Dakota, and he wanted that image of more blood, him standing on Kenny Omega's. Where did all that blood come from? He was beating the shit out of Omega.
I was so confused by that. I thought I missed something. I was going to go back and watch that because I remember seeing it and I was like, he's got a little bit there. And I didn't know what happened. I looked away and it comes back and his whole face is red. I'm like, what did I miss?
He had a little bit of blood. And then you see Coda come out and then so the whole story with Coda coming out is Kenny is like his best friend, the golden, like their whole tag team's the golden lovers, like yada, yada, yada. So the story was him trying to save Kenny. That was that little mini story. So he went through every single BCC person. He took out Pac at first. He took out then the other guys. Then he got to Moxley, the leader, the alpha of the BCC. He's got blood dripping everywhere. He's got Kenny Omega's hands on the nails, and he's carrying a chair. He thinks that's going to be a fucking poster somewhere. He thinks he's so fucking cool. So he wanted that image, and Coda just, God bless Coda. I love the guy. I really do. I hope people give him a chance because this was a very bad outing. Like he was awful.
It wasn't great.
Everything he did
watch him again.
Was like, he charged up his moves like, it's like, that might work over there, buddy, but that's not going to work over here. You really need to figure things out because that's not him charging up every single time. Like, cause he's a karate expert. He freaking charges up his leg. It's like I'm playing Ninja Turtles and I'm holding the circle button to power up my goddamn thing. It's just odd. Good match, though.
Did you notice the comparisons that he was drawing with his entrance?
No.
Everyone, I knew it because I was thinking it when he was coming out, and I saw a bunch of people post it. They're like, "Oh, this is Coda coming out," and they played that video of Jeff Hardy. That time in AEW where Jeff Hardy comes out and his brother's getting the crap beat out of him, and he's just sitting there, dun, dun, because he was just taking his sweet time getting down. Like, you're the last guy. It's 5-on-4. Your team has been outnumbered every step of the way so far. You're finally here to balance it out for good. And you're just taking your sweet ass time getting down there. And I was just like, come on, man, get down there. Help him out. This is your boy here. And you're just, I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah. We do got to wrap up the show soon. We are running a little bit late, but my favorite spot of the match, I just want to get this out there because it gave me the heebie-jeebies. It gave me you probably know the spot I'm talking about when Matt Jackson was up top with I believe it was Wheeler. Who was up there with him? Was it Claudio? No, it was Wheeler.
I feel like it was Wheeler.
It was Wheeler with Wheeler Yuta, and they were doing the suplexes as he does a suplex and does. I know that they weren't going to go over the top or over the, but in my mind, one mess up, you guys are falling over, and it freaking freaked me out the entire time. The same thing that happened with Jericho and Cesaro last year when he was doing the swing on the cage. I don't like those cage spots. We don't need that stuff, guys.
I was so glad that they left it just to that. I was worried that they were going to try and push the envelope this year and push someone over. And I was just like, please don't do that. Whatever you do tonight, don't do that.
Yes, just don't hurt anybody. I don't want to see more blood. I don't want to see any more injuries. We have so many injuries in AEW right now because, let's face it, they're unsafe and they don't care about themselves. I mean, Kenny Omega, the biggest star in the company almost, said, yeah, Ospreay, drop me on my head and try to break my neck. It's pretty much what happened. That Tiger Dragger was literally the way they wanted it to happen. He already admitted it. Like, they all did. Like, yeah, that's the move. No, dude, don't break your neck. How about that, guys? AEW? Morons? No. Do what MJF says. Wrestle safe, have a long career, still entertain.
Yep.
That's going to do it for us, guys. We're going to get out. Follow us on Twitter, Josh Kimmel OUS, RTW Chris on Twitter as well. Threads can go fuck off. We're not on Threads.
That was it. That experiment's over.
It is. I'm going to be on No Holds Barred after this show with my boy Alex Brown in the chat. Alfred is co-host. That's over on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Chris, we got to get you on over there too. It's fun times over there. They're big WWE marks. They think anything past 5 minutes is like the longest match. That's an Iron Man match over there. Yeah. They talk about
10-minute like, match with Iron Man.
This match was long, man. They had like 3 moves and it didn't end in a roll up. Like that was weird. Did it end DQ? Yeah, in a DQ. Okay, gotcha. Now I understand why it didn't end in a roll up. Just playing, guys. I'm just playing. We'll be back next week, Chris. We are going to be talking about what? Collision. We have. Do they have any matches booked, Chris?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I just don't know what they are right now.
I'm glad that you're sure. Your job is to be the one organized and know all this stuff. My job is to get the text from you. Hey, watch Collision. All right.
That's I'm going to do. I don't know what's on there though.
All right, guys. We're going to get out of here though. Chris, any last words before we go?
We are 2 weeks away from AEW